Imagine walking into a shop and buying a $6 coffee with cash, then later grabbing a $4 phone case online with a card. We work for money, spend it, and stress over it, grinding every day for a better life. But how did currency actually start? Long before paper bills or plastic cards, people used coins, but what did they use before that? So let's find out what they used. Let's begin. Imagine trying to buy a t-shirt and paying with 3 chickens. Sounds crazy, right? But long before money existed, people relied on the barter system. It simply meant trading goods for goods, exchanging something you already owned for something you needed. For example, let's say you have 3 goats and someone else has a spear. If you both want what the other person has, you just make a direct swap to satisfy each other's needs. In fact, this whole system wasn't just a quick phase. Historians believe organized bartering started all the way back around 6000 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia. In economics, this perfect match is called a double coincidence of wants. But what happens if the guy with the spear doesn't want your goats and wants 6 chickens instead? Now you have to track down a middleman who wants your goats and has chickens to trade. Only then can you swap those chickens for the spear. It became incredibly difficult to constantly find that perfect third person. Basically, the whole system just became way too complex. Over time, humans realized a huge flaw in the system. You won't always have what the other person actually wants. To fix this, they started using common items that almost everyone needed or valued. That is when they invented commodity money. Commodity money started around 3000 BCE. People started trading with cowrie shells, salt, cattle, beads, gold, and silver. These items became widely accepted as money because they were essential for survival. Take salt, for example. It was essential for keeping food fresh, which meant survival. In fact, salt was so important at that time that people literally got paid with it as their salary. Roman soldiers were given a salt allowance called a salarium, which is exactly where we get our modern word salary. But while commodity money was a massive step up, it still had issues. After all, you can't exactly fit a live cow in your pocket, and food can easily rot. Then came a massive upgrade. Coins appeared. Around 600 BCE, the Kingdom of Lydia in modern-day Turkey created the first widely used metal coins. This solved so many of the old barter problems because, finally, everyone agreed on a standard value. The metal decided the worth, gold coins were highly valuable, silver was medium, and copper or bronze was used for smaller purchases. Soon, every kingdom started minting their own money with unique designs. Ancient Greece stamped theirs with owls, gods, and city symbols. The Roman Empire showed off their emperors' faces. Ancient China created iconic round coins with square holes in the middle, and ancient India used punch-marked coins, stamping symbols straight into the metal. But these early coins didn't look like the ones in your pocket today. The very first ones were made from electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver. They were small, clunky, and definitely not perfectly round because they were handmade by smashing metal between heavy engraved dies. With these coins, you could finally buy or trade for absolutely any item you wanted. Their value was judged by 3 main things: their weight, the type of metal used, and the design stamped on them. After that, around 1,000 years ago, a game-changing invention appeared in China: paper notes. At first, merchants simply deposited their heavy coins and received a paper receipt that essentially said this piece of paper can be exchanged for these exact coins. This meant merchants could travel long distances without being easy targets for bandits. Eventually, governments stepped in and started printing official paper notes that people could trust directly, which were usually backed by real gold securely locked in a vault. But why on earth did people accept regular paper instead of actual metal? Because the government backed it up, promising this note is worth a specific amount of money. Think about the alternative. Imagine trying to buy a house with thousands of silver coins. You would have to drag around heavy sacks full of metal. While coins got the job done, paper money was lightweight and incredibly easy to carry. Over time, the whole world made the switch. Decades later, that evolved into the digital money we use today. Now, with just a tap of a smartphone or a swipe of a plastic card, you can instantly transfer funds across the globe. You are practically carrying an entire bank right in your pocket. And that is how money evolved over time, going all the way from the ancient barter system to the digital cash in our phones today. But what did people use before the barter system? Early humans survived on the gift economy, a beautiful system running entirely on trust, love, and community, where you freely helped others build or farm, fully trusting they'd have your back in the future. Through all these thousands of years of trade, there is one thing that has never changed. The hardest currency you will ever spend isn't gold, paper, or crypto, it is human time. Money can always be earned again, but time cannot. As the poet Carl Sandburg famously said, "Time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent." If you have any questions or thoughts about the video, drop a comment down below and I will do my best to help. Thank you for watching.